here is the Tree of Life in Animal Kingdom. That's the wilderness explorers headquarters. Tree of Life never grows.
Tree of Life never grows.
And there's Ronnie Vlogs. Better than Glenny Vlogs.
Right, you're going to show them the wilderness explorers?
Yeah. So we are going, we have done loads of stuff, forgot to vlog you about that. And now we're going into, it's tough to be a bug. Very dark. Can you just turn brightness up? Better? No.
Is that it?
And I'll show you it right now. Currently, what it is this. Like my glasses. I think it's 3D glasses. It's 3D glasses. I think so.
It's not very good filming in there,
No, it's
is
too
it?
dark in here.
No, I mean, it's going to be in 3D, isn't it? It's going to be blurred.
In today's performance, the part of the stupor will be played by Claire
When this
DeWitt.
finishes. When this finishes.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us today. A couple of reminders before we begin our show.
So we just got out, it's tough to be a bug, and it was like a 3D show, and it was a 3D show with like sprays which were like mist coming out, so it's like, but that's all we're going to tell you, so no spoilers. And I forgot to vlog the start of our wilderness adventure and wilderness explorers, and also went on river rapids.
Oh, we did.
Bumping the
We
ladder.
actually got extremely wet.
Yeah, and that's why I've changed clothes.
And this one,
And that one,
Dad did not get wet.
I've got a bit wet. I just didn't make a song and dance about it.
and my mum is still wet.
Still moaning. Mama is still moaning.
And we are in a shop now. Lenny Gloves here.
Hello, viewers.
Ace Vlogger.
Ace Vlogger. Remember the name? Lenny Gloves. Ace Vlogger.
Ace Gloves. Anyway, we also went on what's that Pandora River thing?
Navi River.
Navi River
Adventures or River
Navi River Rapids. I
No, it's
think.
not rapids. There were no rapids in it.
Navi River Adventures, I
And
think.
it's 6
And at 6 something, we're going on.
Kilimanjaros.
No man can see us of safari.
Sally.
So I'm going to upload this vlog either. I'm doing my Magic Kingdom one today. Because I couldn't find my Disney Springs one, but hopefully. And I didn't vlog yesterday because we were having a vlogging break and we went to Florida. I'll probably see you on the safari. See ya! Okay, so we are now in the fast pass lane for Killmonger.
No, Kilimanjaro.
Kilimanjaro safaris. Sounds like Killmonger. Picture Lego version. And we'll probably see you when we get on there. Spot the enemy. So we are on the safari trip.
That's not design ordered.
Here we go.
Alright, Jamba friends, my name is Michelle. I'll be your safari guide here throughout the Harambe Wildlife Reserve this afternoon. Anywhere from 6 to 8 feet long when fully grown from tip to tip, so about 3 to 4 feet per horn per side, weighing in only at around a total of 20 pounds though on top of their head to carry with them. They'll be practically hollow on the inside though, more so made out of a honeycomb structure. What they do is they send blood up into the horns, warming up that blood and bringing it back down into their body and cooling themselves off, that way they don't overheat. Throughout the years, they have been used as a sign of wealth for the Watusi tribes. The more daily basis when he walks, that joint popping will be a regular occurrence, but he can turn it on and off whenever he chooses to. When fully grown though, they will weigh in at 2,000 pounds and stand 6 feet tall at the shoulder, and they'll be able to leap 8 feet straight up into the air, and that will be without taking a run. The females do. A younger one as well within some of that tall grass. You can see it's still a different shade of tan compared to the adults that are around it. It will also have thin white stripes on the sides of its body until it rainbow-shaped motion. Now over to the right-hand side is a smaller herd of white-bearded wildebeest taking part though in the largest migration per year with 1.5 million. Within the first 15 minutes after being born, they'll be able to run. Unfortunately though, being left behind if unable to by the rest of the herd. Laying down in a row, facing different directions, so that way if they see a predator coming from one area, they can sound an alarm and start to make their way to safety. Gaining the nickname the Gnu, which is spelled GNU, for a low grunting noise that they make. But as we've pulled forward, we've made her 50 pounds, doubling in size to stand 12 feet tall by the age of 1, and then 20 feet tall as an adult by roughly the age of 3. Males have a bright blue and red coloration to both ends of their bodies, where the females have a small portion of the face taken up by the blue. Weighing in though at 100 pounds when fully grown as a male, it makes them the largest monkey species, where females range between 25 and 30 pounds. A couple of the younger ones were over there as well, near the termite mounds. With an extra pouch in their mouth, to slapping the ears back and forth, it decreases the body temperature anywhere from 7 to 9 degrees. Won't be of much use to it until it's about 3 months old or so. That's when they gain control, using it to gather food up to their mouth, using it to stay hydrated, storing the water in the trunk and releasing it into their mouth that way to stay hydrated throughout the day. It's also how they're going to throw their sunscreen on. Now something you may have noticed with all the elephants we have seen, both male and female, they all have those ivory tusks. Just like when we're born though, as a human we don't have our teeth, the baby elephant will not have its tusk, needing to grow. That way they can still make a living and earn their money, and the elephants remain unharmed. It just goes to show you a lot of hard work and dedication and care can go a long way to help us all coexist with these animals. And over to the left-hand side, this is what is known as a flamboyance. It's a flamboyance of greater flamingo. Now the greater flamingo is not only the tallest, but also the lightest shade of pink of all flamingo species. When hatched, they actually start out the color gray. It takes about a year or two of a diet of brine shrimp and beta carotene pounds. It'll charge at 35 miles per hour. So agile though, it will be able to gallop, having all 4 feet off the ground at one point in time. Now the eyesight of a rhino is not so great, so they depend more so on their sense of smell and hearing to get by, as they only see a few feet in front of them. Illegally poached though, unfortunately, as well, just like the black rhino for the keratin horn. Not getting their name though from the coloration of their skin, but rather from the Afrikaans word vite, meaning wide. Because of a wide jaw structure they have, they can't put their heads underneath in the water, so they use mud pits. They're gonna roll around in it or just kind of sit down in it, keeping the large body cool with the skin an inch thick. They heat up very quickly, but it also gets to see there's some black markings from the cheetah's eyes down to its mouth. They're black stripes, pretty much like how a football or baseball player would put the black markings underneath their eyes to make sure the sun doesn't blind them. That's exactly what that will do for the cheetah. It's gonna reflect the sun off of their face, that way they don't get blinded when they chase down their prey. But they reach a speed of 40 miles an hour. My tongue is strong enough to clear a carcass with just one lick. Little spikes of keratin, same stuff to make up our hair, our fingernails, and the horns of rhinos. Also that same dry sandpaper texture that the average house cat has. Now when fully projecting their roar, the lion will be heard from 5 miles away. The older that male lion gets, so that you see laying down, the darker his mane becomes, turning brownish black the more with age. Magnificent climbers, climbing high up into the trees and the copies, keeping a higher surveillance of all that call the savannah their home. Now these ladies that we've been passing are called waterbuck. We can tell they're females because they don't have horns. Males will be the only ones to have them. However, both male and female waterbuck are not fully grown till 3.
So it's been so we're just having a, is this our tea?
Yeah.
So just having a tea and just having more teas.
Well, it's cheaper to get that with that than without it. So,
Can I have a stool, please?
so if Archie's stuck to
I've got,
that, then we can fill these.
Yeah.
and you can do what? Anyway.
Fill these.
I've got 16 badges in this. In one day, wow. And there's 29. So, on a wonderful day, if you like watch what you watch, please like, subscribe, turn notifications on for more vlogs, for more Disney vlogs as well. The more Florida vlogs.